Let's be real for a second. You probably think the government's the biggest drain on your wallet, right? You track your income, you watch every single dollar. But what if I told you that you are taxing yourself day in and day out way more than any government ever could? Let's get into what that really means.
Just let that sink in for a minute. The single biggest financial leak in your life, it might not be coming from the outside at all. Nope, it's coming from your own daily choices. And that's the core idea we're going to unpack today. This hidden, brutal tax you pay every single day.
And here it is. The source calls it the luxury tax on mediocrity. You know, when you see someone who's really successful, you might look at their lifestyle and think, wow, that's expensive. But that's not the expense, that's the reward. The real soul-crushing tax is the one you pay for being cheap with the things that actually matter: your time, your focus, and your ambition.
So this brings us to this huge conflict in how we think about money. I'm talking about the myth of frugality. We're all taught that saving money is smart, it's responsible. But what if that very mindset, the one you think is helping you, is actually the anchor holding you down?
And you can see the two worlds collide right here. On one side, you've got the saver. This person is obsessed with pinching pennies. They see a luxury, any luxury, as just another expense. But on the other side, you've got the investor. They see luxury as the natural outcome of a high-performance life. They're not just trying to save a few bucks, they're strategically buying back their most valuable assets, their time and their focus. They know cheapness is incredibly costly.
Okay, so to make this really concrete, let's break down this hidden tax into 3 distinct, itemized invoices. Think of these as the receipts for your cheap habits, the daily costs that add up and keep people trapped without them even having a clue. All right, we're going to look at the productivity tax, the energy and willpower tax, and the big one, the time and opportunity tax. Each of these is a direct result of choosing the frugal option. Let's dig into that first invoice.
So, invoice number 1, the coffee tax. You buy the cheap coffee to save, 50 cents, maybe $1, and yeah, you get a quick 20-minute buzz, but then comes the 3-hour crash. So what was the hidden tax you just paid? 3 hours. 3 hours of potential elite-level concentration gone. Meanwhile, the high performer invests in clean fuel and gets a full morning of peak productivity. Now, who's really being smarter with their money?
And it's the exact same story with food. You grab some fast food because, hey, it saves you 30 minutes, right? But the invoice you get hit with is massive. That cheap meal costs you your physical energy, it tanks your mood, and it even chips away at your self-respect. It creates that awful mental fog and just kills the willpower you need to put in extra work or hit the gym later. You literally pay a few dollars to actively sabotage your own discipline. It's insane.
And this one brings us to the biggest, most brutal tax of all, the one on your time. You decide you're not going to pay $5,000 for that course or that mentor. No way. Instead, you're going to spend 3 years piecing it all together from free, often conflicting advice online. Well, that frugal decision just cost you 3 years of your life. 3 years of lost income, lost momentum. The investor, they pay for the direct path because they understand that time is the one asset you can never, ever get back. So when you step back and you look at all these invoices together, you start to see the truly devastating big picture. See, it's not about one bad cup of coffee or one greasy lunch. It's about the compounding effect of these daily micro losses. The source uses this incredible metaphor. Think of yourself as a battleship. You have all this potential, you're powerful, you're built to dominate. But these small, seemingly insignificant cheap habits, the bad coffee, the fast food, the refusal to pay for knowledge, they act as a massive anchor, holding you in port and preventing you from ever really going anywhere. And this chart just lays the damage bare. Every single day, you're not just losing a few cents. You are hemorrhaging hours of focus, hours of willpower, and literally years of opportunity. These aren't just tiny leaks. These are gaping holes that are sinking your potential over time, compounding day after day into a life of mediocrity. So what do? How do you fight back? How do you get the only tax break that actually matters in this life? Well, you have to completely shift your thinking. You have to move from a saving paradigm to an investing paradigm. And you have to start investing in yourself.
This right here, this is the whole mindset shift. That person who pays for quality, for speed, for expertise, they are not wasting money, no. They are making a deeply strategic purchase. They are buying back the absolute foundational assets of success, their time, their focus, and that raw, aggressive will to get things done and dominate their goals.
So the takeaway here is really straightforward. You have to stop paying the tax. Stop patting yourself on the back for saving $1 and start calculating what that dollar truly cost you in lost focus or lost time. You need to start investing aggressively in anything that saves you time, that sharpens your mind, and that builds your discipline. That right there is the only way out.
And that leaves us with one last, really powerful question to think about. What if you invested so much in your own potential, in the best tools, the best knowledge, the best fuel, that your entire life was forced to rise to that level just to justify the investment? What would that version of you even be capable of?